Hello everyone, your host Festive Long John's here with another one of my favorites. Today we have a game with my very own casting partner, Icemanjoker, facing off against Emu87. At the time of this game, Emu was roughly around rank 100. Iceman is a very proficient Soviet player. He is ranked around 50. So he went ahead and posted this on the replay section of the forum, said it was a close finish. I love close games. Iceman plays the Soviets with a little bit of a different strategy. He's got this terror tactics thing going on sometimes. It's very interesting to see a little bit of unmade play. So, the last time I did this, I was kind of a scrub caster, to be honest. I was giving such in-depth analysis as, well, you see, shock troops are going to be really good against Osttrooping. Oh, yeah. Brilliant insight, Festive. Great. That's great stuff. So, since then, I'd like to say that, I don't know, I was laughing at my first cast. It wasn't the greatest. My computer settings were pretty bad. I've since got a new one. My settings are a little better. Things should be a little smoother this time around, so without further ado, let's go ahead and F with the bullshit and we'll get right to the game. Iceman going with a 3 conscript opening, and we see Emu87 here starting off with 2 Volksgrenadiers, and he might go, yep, he's got a 3rd Volksgrenadier in production. He is wiring off this very easily wired little passageway. It's a very nice spot for the OKW wire, as it cannot be destroyed by small arms fire. He's also using the truck to actually crush the house on his native munitions, which I find interesting because that's actually a very defensively placed house, and I think it's actually favorable to the western side of the map. But we've got a first engagement here. Conscripts closing the gap against these Volksgrenadiers. They will win this engagement, although the Volks got the first shot off. And they're actually doing quite well, dropping models. The conscripts are now down to half health, but they will likely pull ahead at this point. Stern Pioneers make an aggressive push to the cutoff, but are not decapping because they are just outside the circle. Iceman does a nice job repositioning his conscripts. The Stern Pios are now taking fire from 2 different directions and will not do enough damage at that range to do anything. Emu is draining models and is forced to retreat. Iceman will quickly reconnect his cutoff. Iceman is now going for a 4th conscript, and Emu is going for a 4th Volksgrenadier. So, a lot of infantry piling up here. We'll see what Emu decides to go tech with. He hasn't chosen anything yet. His truck is just kind of sitting here. Makes me think he's going to go forward HQ, unless he backs it up all the way to the base. Iceman would not surprise me if he went with this terror tactics. This is something we see him do a lot. He also likes to go with the shock troops followed up by the 120mm mortar and the PPSH conscripts. But this commander is a slight variation of that, as he likes the 120mm Howie against the OKW. Does a really nice job shelling the OKW base, especially on a small one. So conscripts now absolutely swarming this church. And he has teched mollies, which is going to be a difficult task for Emo to micro. They are pretty easy to dodge, really slow animation, but if you got enough of them coming at you, they can kind of catch you off guard. So another Volk squad hopping in the house here, and the others on the left flank have postured back to this yellow cover, taking cover behind the logs, and that's actually an engagement that Emu won nicely. He's now going to be able to pressure the cutoff really aggressively, as Iceman is now rotating his other conscripts to the north, while the 2nd squad is flanking the Volksgrenadiers, taking cover behind the truck. The Stern Pioneers retaking their previous position behind the stone wall, decapping the cutoff, and at this point, Iceman might consider teching to get an MG, because in Maxim you can do a great job against really aggressive cutoff play. I like the Flamer upgrade on the combat edges. That is really wonderful. The first burst oftentimes forces soldiers to the ground. limiting their DPS. You see there, they were a little bit too close. And Emu is really pressuring this cutoff hard. Now he's actually decapped Iceman's fuel. And is just generally microing these engagements a little bit better. He's positioning his Volks and his Stern Pioneers a little bit better. Iceman is opting to take one of his conscript squads and use it to kind of rotate around the north to harass Emu's own fuel. And in the meantime, these conscripts are probably going to win this engagement. This two-man squad needs to go. He's out. Emu stops the decap. This is now a 8-on-6, 6-on-6. But these conscripts are low health. They are about to chuck a molly, but it's nicely dodged. And the conscripts are going to have to retreat again, and another Volk squad moving up to continue pressuring the cutoff. He just refuses to let Iceman get this back. So we're now seeing a flag track rush. Very nice. I like this a lot against aggressive conscript play. Without tier 2 tech, Iceman has no real way of dealing with the flag track, and he also went shocks. He went this terror tactics commander that I was kind of thinking he might. Nice crit there from the combat entries, but this flag track's gonna be a pain in Iceman's ass. Like, he's not gonna have anything to deal with this unless he swarms it with conscripts, which he will eat lots of manpower in the process. He's not gonna be able to take it down. And once it gets Vet 1 and gets smoked, it's got a lot more survivability than it used to now that it no longer has a D setup time. And look at that, those conscripts almost instantly pinned, forced to retreat. We now have the first Shrek upgrade for Emu, and he also has chosen a commander. He's gone with the Special Operations Doctrine. Quite interesting, not something you see typically in a 1v1. I'm just going to call it the flag half-track. I leave Iceman to the German pronunciations. Is rotating up to the north. He's going to quickly force a retreat on these conscripts, and Emu is going to retake his native fuel as soon as this thing sets up. Bam, bam, bam. Look at the damage, just absolutely brutal. And that conscript squad is lucky to live to fight another day. That dude is just about dead. Iceman is going to decap the munitions here. He's also got shock troops roaming around the center of the map. Looks like he's rotating back to his own cutoff. He really should probably just focus on maintaining his side of the map, as this 251 is going to punish any sort of harassment that he tries to do on the flanks. And he needs to stabilize his own resource income. He's on the back foot now with the 251 on the field. The shock troops are going to do great against the Volksgrenadiers. As we see the shock troops peeking around the corner, do a ton of damage, drops the model instantly. Nice reaction there by Emu, instantly retreating, and he is actually converting fuel or munitions to fuel. So he'd be potentially aiming for maybe a fast Panther. Not sure what he could be going for there. He's not going to have to worry about, you know, like a T-3485, and typically Soviets don't tech, so, although that's not to say that Iceman won't. I know Iceman does like to tech, and I'm going to be commenting a fair bit about Iceman's general playstyle because I know him as a player. We play a fair bit of 1v1s. So, unfortunately, I've never seen Emu play, so I can't really comment on his playstyle, but I can kind of get a feel for what Iceman's going to do just because I've played a fair bit of games with him. Nasty mine there. Luckily doesn't destroy the engine, it's just an engine damage. He has his stern pyos in close quarters to get the repairs. Shocks are going to try and maybe throw a grenade, but an absolutely wicked the grenade barrage, the infiltration tactics grenades, kills 5 out of 6 models, and oh my gosh, another lucky squad gets away for Iceman. That shock squad had even less health, and he's now trying to sandwich the damaged half-track and takes so much damage from that half-track he doesn't even get the 18-aid off on that squad. So this half-track survives. And Iceman's aggressive attempt at a T-nades ends up in a pretty nasty loss in manpower. His Volks standing in red cover, looks like they were A-moved. The conscripts are not stacked real well behind green cover, and they're going to have to dodge these nades quickly in nice retreats. That could have been really devastating. The flak track is back to full health, and it looks like that combat engine just roasted some crowds. Look at that. That was a lot of flamer. A lot of dead bodies right there. And now we're seeing a pretty heavy retreat from Emu. He now has 3 squads retreating. So most of his army is now forced off the field. This is a good opportunity for Iceman to claw back some territory. He is producing a Zis gun, which now that the flak track's Vet 1 and it has smoke, I don't think the Zis gun is going to hard counter it. The infiltration nades are not aimed well, but Iceman kind of panic retreated there because he likely just caught the animation on the tail end, didn't know exactly where they were going, figured he'd play it safe and went ahead and retreated. He now owns 2 of the 3 VPs and is rotating a conscript squad up here to the north to decap that, while Emu reinforces and takes the mid VP. This man is taking 2 of his conscripts. It looks like this one is going to go up to the north and try and continue to harass, while this double vet conscript squad may follow in their footsteps, likely going to try and avoid this flak track because there's still not a lot to deal with it, although he's about to walk into Zis range. I don't think he has line of sight. Now he does. And the smoke goes down. A lucky attack ground might clear it. Oh, just short. Too much support for him to get the 18-8 off. Conscript's going to hop in this house while the Flamers are waiting to get in battle. Conscript in the north has done a nice job harassing that VP, and he is now moving over to the fuel, which is heavily defended by this Schweve Panther headquarters. German's embarrassing, no longer going to try and pronounce German words, and yet another squad of Icemans gets away with just a sliver of health, and that is going to deny a lot of harassment on the north side. He's going to have to commit a significant amount of units to take out that Panzer IV HQ, or that Panzer HQ. And we now see a pretty nice position from Emu. He's got his Obers out. He's actually teching another squad of Obers. So he'll have 2 Obers, and he also has 2 Shreks to deal with any sort of armor threat. He's doing a nice job microing this half-track near the rear of his lines, and it's better be careful. It gets another burst down before it takes that second shot from the Zis, pops smoke and backs away. Nicely played there from Emu. Iceman, now knowing that the Panzer HQ is in the north, is now harassing in the south. Still doing a decent job of holding VPs. He's managed to slowly tick Emu down to 418. This game is in anybody's hands. Still very early. At this point, it looks like Iceman is going to be banking on a KV-8 perhaps. He hasn't teched yet, and he has had the field to tech for a while. The T-70 might actually be solid against a double Obersoldaten play with a flak track. Drain a lot of manpower. You can push the flak track around. You got to be a little wary of the Shreks, but they're not going to hard counter the T-70. If nothing else, you can use it to get a little bit of map control back, and you don't have to worry about the Panther for a little while. Going for the flak track. It's decent fuel investment for an OKW player. I think it's 50 fuel. So it's 55, and he's, wow, that's interesting. I think he's attacking ground while the flak track is still moving in order to fire before it actually sets up. That might be a bug, I'm not sure. But it shouldn't be capable of firing before the setup time. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be happening. His conscripts in the middle are going to finish the cap before retreating. Going to go ahead and take the manpower losses in order to prevent the VP drain. And again, this flag track has just been a terror. It's now racked up 22 kills and has really just rotated all over the map. And we've got the we got a juggernaut of a battle up here. We got Shocks versus Obers, the two heavyweights of each army's infantry composition. Shocks are going to win this one. The Obers backed up a little bit, but Shocks just too much at close range, especially with smoke and grenades of their own to close the gap. But the second Ober squad is moving up for revenge. It's to avenge their fallen comrades. It's to maintain that VP control. Iceman now has access to the KV-8, but he has actually tech tier 3 and is going with a T-34 instead, which is a good choice in my opinion. The T-34 really fills the same role as the KV-8 in terms of anti-infantry, and it is also quite good against medium vehicles, especially something squishy like the flak track. However, the advantage that it has against the KV-8 is it doesn't have to switch. The KV-8 can do the same thing, but it's got to switch round types. It's a little slow and clunky at times. The T-34 is effective pretty much all the time. We've got another grenade barrage going in, but Iceman dodges it nicely. He is now cut off from his VP once again and is about to be triple capped. So, Iceman's going to have to make the most of this T-34 before Emu gets his Panther, because he is getting closer and closer to the fuel for a Panther. He's now got a plus 22 fuel income. If he keeps that up, he's got about 4 minutes before he gets a Panther. So let's make the most out of this T-34. He goes straight for the flak track, a nice attack ground there, but the T-34 does not choose to continue to pursue. It's backed up by a Raketin. Nice play there, not getting too overly aggressive. You never know what's lurking behind the smoke. And he did have the Raketin and a couple of Shrek squads nearby, so actually a prudent decision there. You know, as they say, what's that old expression? Discretion is the better part of valor. I think that's it. So in this case, T-34 made a nice call by not getting overly aggressive. Sometimes you get that first shock unit, you just want to kill some shit. Just want to go murder something. You get all hyped up. You just want to shove it down their throat and then you lose it. That's not good. It's not fun. You waited all game for that unit, you don't want to throw it away. But at the same time, you gotta be aggressive. You don't have all day, Iceman. You know that Panther's coming, buddy. Maybe even a command Panther. Beastly sniper Panther with the crazy vision. Shock troops coming in to support these Volks Grenadiers. They're not going to stand a chance against the T-34 shock troop combo. Grenade volley goes in, but Iceman does not take the bait. Waits for the grenade volley, and now is free to close the gap, and the Volks Grenadiers are forced to retreat. Iceman still needs to be wary of this triple cap. He needs to send a squad down to the south, but it's being defended by an Ober soldat. These Obers might not see the conscripts. They might just hop around the hedge. Yep, they just miss each other. Interesting. So Iceman's now decapping all 3 VPs. Very good. Definitely do not want to eat that triple cap for long. The T-34 is shifting to the south to clear out these Obers. They're a nice target that you have absolutely no threat. They have 0 anti-tank capabilities whatsoever. They're very expensive to reinforce. You can crush them. Just grind them under your treads, no problem. Nothing stopping you. No Shreks, no Fausts, nothing. Just a nice, tasty LMG. So, T-34 needs some repairs. Now has 6 kills. Nice demo charge placed here by Iceman. And what do we have in the bank for both players? We are now at the 20-minute mark. No heavies on the horizon for Iceman. I don't think he's going to go for the expensive KV-8 when he's already tech tier 3. So perhaps we will see a Howitzer. Perhaps we'll see use of the fear propaganda. Perhaps we'll see use of the fear propaganda with the Howitzer. That was an One of my favorite old V-code tricks was to use fear prop on a big old blob when you have a sniper snuck into their base and drop a V1 on it. Watch the whole thing go. So, Emu's trying to pressure the middle of the map here, but it's well defended by this T-34. You have to be wary of the Shreks, but for the most part, T-34 is going to drain without actually getting killed. The shock troops are going to fake a grenade toss and force a retreat on these Shrek'd up folks, and Emu responds by sending his flak track up to deal with the shocks. Emu is now at 175 feet, so we'll see if he decides to go with a... Nope, he's getting a third, dear lord, a third Overlord squad. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. That seems excessive. Any sort of indirect fire, any sort of armor is going to punish that so hard. You've already got 1, 2, 3, 4 Volks Grenadiers on the field. Massive engagement here. The conscripts are eating so much damage from that flag track, and the T-34 is backing up, and these Volks just can't seem to remain stationary long enough to fire their Panther Shreks. But they need to be. He needs to be careful now. He's got the Raketten set up, and all of these Shreks are in range. Oh no. Ooh, that last Raketen shot missed. The Shreks were a little bit slow to pursue. T-34 gets away. Emu decapping the VP in the south and in the north, doing a very nice job pressuring the VPs. Iceman, however, managed to get back in this VP race and basically even the score. I like this demo charge, location, because previously Emu was really pressuring this cutoff with a lot of units, and he also doesn't have healing up yet. He has no HQ truck, so just about all of his units are low health, which is... Oh, it looks like he lost an Obersoldat squad. Forgot, I must have missed that. So, Command Panther's on the field. It's one of my favorite units in the game. Let's go ahead and toggle the Fog of War off so that we can see the crazy line of sight that this thing gives. Not the best demonstration of it right now. Once it starts rolling to the front, we will get an idea for just how much vision this thing provides. I mean, it's really crazy. Basically gives vision to the maximum of its sight range, so it can essentially spot for itself. And the Panther excels at long-range combat anyway, and it also has extremely good frontal armor. It actually has more frontal armor than the Tiger. So, really, it's one of the best tank snipers in the game. It is really, really best used defensively. It's not really an offensive weapon. And now all of Emu's forces are concentrated in the south. He has 4 Shrek'd up Volk squads. This is a really nasty combined arms force here from Emu. Iceman has now built a Howitzer, however, and this could be devastating. If he gets some nice Howitzer shots on here, this unit formation right here, this unit cluster, as I like to call them, the PC term for blobbing, blub, is going to be in trouble. It's going to be tricky, because one nice Howie shot is going to be nasty. So, we're going to keep an eye on that Howitzer's cooldown. Because, oh, first round going in. Where's it going? Where's it going? Oh, first round kills 3 models. If Emu's slow to react, he might get hit again. Wow, look at the scatter on that. That's pretty huge. Wow. Third round kills 4 models. That was an extremely successful first barrage from that Howitzer. Gets 7 kills. Forces the retreat of 2, or actually 3 Volk squads. So very nicely placed there. However, Iceman is still losing the VP war. He's still on the back foot. He now has 2 T-34s to deal with this Command Panther, and you can see its excellent sight range at work here. Able to easily chase the T-34, although is now a little bit overcommitted. It's going to eat an 18-8 here, and if these T-34s can get around on the flank of this Panther, they can actually do quite a bit of damage. The Panther's rate of fire is just so slow. Its DPS is so bad that it actually doesn't pose a huge threat aggressively to the T-34s. T-34s are definitely going to lose a one-on-one fight, but it's really hard for a Panther to actually straight up kill a 234 without support, because its rate of fire is just still pretty bad. I mean, it's a tanky beast, don't get me wrong, but the Panther, I mean, the T-34 is fast enough to usually, unless it's got an engine damage, obviously, kind of kite away. And I mean, still did decent damage to the Panther. So honestly, even without heavy call-ins here from Iceman, the fact that he doesn't have to, you know, he's playing OKW, so you don't have to worry about a tiger. You don't have to worry about, you know, an elephant. A king tiger is pretty uncommon in 1v1s. Now I hear the Howie firing another nasty shot from the Howitzer. The first round, killing 4 models, giving Emu very little time to react. It's already, I mean, it's a significant manpower investment, but it's already doing some work. 11 kills in his first 2 barrages, so very nice use of the Howitzer there. What Iceman is going to have to do at this point, I think, is just to... Oh, nasty, nasty booby trap there, laid by... How do you lay the booby trap? What is that? Oh, it's a 50 munition ability from the Obersoldat. That's so rarely used. I just forgot that ability even existed. It also goes to show that I don't play a whole lot of OKW. But Iceman is just going to crank out the T-34s at this point, I think. I mean, he's got a huge standing army. It's actually already in his Popcats. These conscripts are... I mean, they're great capping units. Their AT grenade capabilities are nice, but as we can see here, they're just getting shredded by these ogres. The shocks can step to him, and the T-34s are going to just wreck these ogres. And that's the one reason I don't like going multiple ogre squads, is because, you know, unless you're using them in conjunction with the rest of your army, if you're using them to just win you infantry engagements on the flanks, you can punish that so easily with vehicles. And this flak track being used very nicely to deter a AT grenade on that command Panther. Iceman is rotating his T-34s up from the south. They are met by a shreked up Volk squad that is now triple vet in the middle. They're getting clumped up though. Ooh, they're clumped up and they got low health. They're very vulnerable to explosions when they're like that. One more shot. There you go. 3 models down. He's actually lucky that didn't get wiped. This gun is positioned nicely to force off the command Panther, which leaves the flak truck a little bit exposed. And it's full health. He used his smoke earlier, I believe. There he goes. Command Panther sniping from the rear. Flak truck getting a little bit... I don't know about that chosen pathing right there. Oh, gets lucky with the main gun destroyed crit. He's going to be able to back away and repair it so that Flak track lives to fight another day. Shock troops denying the northern VP from those Obersoldaten. And Iceman is about to get a triple cap of his own. Gun penetrating the Panther from the front. T-34 shot also penetrating. And that Panther's now down to about 3/4 health. This this is going to be in trouble. I suspect a Howitzer round soon. It is repositioned. He's using that fear propaganda on the blob to force a retreat of 1 squad, but unfortunately the other 2 are not under the volley range. And the T-34 got abandoned. I actually missed that. Shrek's finishing off. But they're now going to be retreating into... Oh no, he fired the Howitzer around the middle, didn't he? Oh, but he almost got... Oh man, that would have been sad if I missed that one. So Howitzer round not used on the base. One thing that a lot of players like to do when they play the Howie is force a massive retreat, either by winning a decisive engagement or using fear propaganda and just howieing the retreating squads at base. They're basically helpless, and a lot of times they have low health. So really, really tricky. Really sucks to have it happen to you, but I mean, if you're going to invest that much manpower in a Howitzer, you might as well get something out of it, right? So this game's been neck and neck, back and forth, with both players really trading triple caps up to this point. T-34 being used quite well. He's managed to make good use out of it despite the fact that the Panther is roaming. And this flak track has been just amazing. The use of this has been so great. He's got 36 kills on it, and we've got another demo charge right now. And he better be careful with his T-34. The sight range on that Command Panther ain't nothing to fucking laugh at. We got another shock V over engagement in the north, but the range on that thing. Ooh, they're trading grenades. Wow, that side range is just crazy. Ooh, we've got a Stuka out from Emu. He might try and Stuka that Howitzer, which is now firing again. Oh no! The vehicles are all getting caught up on each other. Oh, just barely off the mark. Although this flak Howie better move. This flak track better move. There's the third shell. Oh, so close. That flak track is flirting with death. Ooh, nice shot by the T-34. Shrek's gonna force him to back off for repairs. These Shreks are gonna put a tall task on these combat engineers, and to deal with it, Iceman has built his second squad. He put a flamer on his first one. Put a minesweeper on the second one, so that'll help a little bit with these with the mines. Nice mine there in the south. Really nice placement of these demolitions and mines here from Iceman. It's a good flanking spot. Good to defend that from both vehicles and infantry. That nasty T-34 Soviet mine is just so effective against all targets. Still occasionally one-shot squads, depending on how they're clumped. T-34 is going to move up to take pot shots on this nicely grouped set of Shrek Volks. He might just go for the crush now. They're getting awfully low. Instead chooses to just take shots, and the first Stuka barrage is going in right on top of the conscripts. They don't see it! Oh, just barely misses the mark. Almost lost the triple vet conscript squad there. We've got another triple vet conscript. We'll just call them conscripts now because they're all triple vet. Facing off against the Sturm pilot, or I'm sorry, what was it on? Oh! Nice shot on the Howitzer. That must have been a precision strike. It was a precision strike because it only fired one round, but it didn't actually kill the Stuka. Man, isn't that unfortunate? And oh boy, I was too busy watching the Howie. I missed the T-34 going absolutely ham. We've got an 18-8 on the blitzing Panther. Oh no, just go for the crush and run. Run! Oh, he's gonna try and finish the Stuka! You ballsy motherfucker! Destroyed engine! Oh, and he gets the Stuka. Beautiful, beautiful. I'll take that trade any day. 100 fuel for Iceman, 100 fuel with the fuel tax for the OKW player, and if he doesn't pick up that Stuka, it's just going to attrition him to death. In the meantime, he has enough fuel for another one. Excellent aggressive play there from Iceman. Thank God he got that 18-8 off on that Panther. If he hadn't managed that, the Panther would have chased him down, and he may not have gotten the Stuka. Well played. Well played. The T-34, don't underestimate the power of the crush, Iceman. Just go! Just kidding. Not when you got the Panther. I do love crushing things, though. Especially with Shermans. Got that pencil machine. It's so neat. T-34 is backing off, and now the Panther's going to try an aggressive move of his own, but he drives right to the demo. The Zis refaces. He's facing a swarm of T-34s, and the Panther goes down. Iceman rewarded for his aggression. Emu completely punished for his aggression. He loses the Zis, but that's not a big deal. He can simply recrew it. These Shreks are trying to finish off the T-34, but he's backing up. They're taking massive damage from these shock troops. The T-34, if he gets a lucky hit, is going to do a ton of damage. And Iceman just very nicely micros that little bit of aggression there. Refaces the Zis extremely quickly, moves up the T-34 swarm, and now Emu is forced off the map once again. This Howitzer has only got 11 kills in his first 2 barrages, and has since then only got 1 more kill. But it did leave the flak track, or I'm sorry, the Stuka at a sliver of health, which allowed him to finish it off. So Howie is just proving to be a beast. Something you don't see too often is actually being put to great use here. He's got 2 334s, but they're both pretty low. And I don't think Iceman has lost a single unit this game. He has all of the scripts that he initially built. Oh god. That Howitzer. Oh, he's going for a blind fire on the base. And there's not a whole lot here for him to hit, unfortunately. But yeah, I was just commenting on the unit preservation for both sides. Really, Emu hasn't lost. The only squads he's lost was ogres, which are his most expensive. But really, the ones you want to keep alive are your volks, because they just get crazy tanky once they get vet. And now they're all vet 5. So that's just monstrous right there. That's a blob of volks that really can't be stopped unless they eat a massive howitzer shot. 234s ain't gonna stop it. Not that many, and he's now called in a KV-8. Interesting. KV-8's a little bit tankier than a T-34, and will do quite a bit more AoE damage. It'll consistently drain the health of this blob a lot faster. So paired with a couple T-34s, I like it. He has his Zis for his hard AT. The T-34s shouldn't be underestimated in terms of their AT capability when used in conjunction with 18-8s and a Zis. So here we go, KV-8 identifies his first target, rolls straight through the hedges, and is gonna just wreck some shit. Here you go. Let's see how far he takes this run. With no command Panther, there's really nothing stopping this KV-8. His Raketans are positioned in the middle. They really are not in a good spot right now. This Ober squad down to 1 health. The Volks are starting to get low and will likely start eating some crits here. And Iceman's just going to take it all the way. The Howie's now firing, but it doesn't look like he's firing on the HQ. Oh, he's shooting in the middle. Oh, and a bombing run goes down on the HQ, but it's not quite enough. The blob has dodged. Iceman is going to go ahead and back out. He's not going to risk it. He's forced his retreat. He's now needs to use his advantage and really take back some map control. He's got a bunch of infantry squads reinforcing here. He needs to continue the VP pressure because he's now down to 164 VPs. So game's getting close. This is about the time where things start getting desperate and throws can be made. At this point, both players have been stellar. This flak track is now up to 44 kills, and it's now at 5, which is just monstrous. Just love to see that. The T-34 usage has been excellent. We've got Emu's Shrek Volks moving around to the south, but the KV-8 is right there waiting for him. As long as he keeps those Shreks on the move, he should have no problem dealing with them. You gotta go all in. Don't have... Oh, man. That's risky. That's risky. If you can keep the Shreks on the move and keep them from firing, you can do a ton of damage. But if you kind of stay in range without really committing, they're gonna wipe your KV-8 and hurry. So Emu almost has enough fuel for another command tank, and this is the point in the game where the Soviets are gonna, they kind of have a hard time. They just have a ton of, conscripts which don't scale all that well. And Iceman, continuing to use this Howie, almost takes down the Vet 5 flag track with, I think, was a precision strike. So that's the second precision strike that has left him as Emu's light vehicle, which is a sliver of health. Ket quickly moves up to force off the T-34, which is now Vet 2 with only 6 kills, might I add. He's not going to be able to stick around there much longer. He needs to get out of there, especially because these Volks are on the move as well. T-34 backs out. The second T-34 positioned in the north. while the KV-8 is now moving up towards the center. KV-8 rushing in, targets the Obers first, bounces the first Shrek shot. These conscripts need to go. I hear the Howitzer firing, but I don't want to miss all this action. I actually don't know if the Howitzer is firing yet. Nope, not yet. It is on cooldown. Or it is not on cooldown. It's ready to go. Keep an eye on it. It's firing. Looks like we've got another base shot incoming. Maybe. Where are we going here? Ooh. He's targeting the Raketten. Very nice. First round kills. Oh, man. Back-to-back shots connect from the Howitzer. The Raketten Werfer is down. Iceman about to triple cap once again. He remans the Zis just in time as the Command Panther hits the field. It's gonna be 3v1 though with that Command Panther. Now Emu still has his 2 Raketten Werfers, so he's got plenty to deal with these T-34s. He also has just Shreks everywhere. But he's not getting a lot of mileage out of these Shreks. They're forcing off the T-34s, but here we go. Now MIB Crow. Shock's forced to retreat. The Panther is on the move, but he's targeting the infantry. He might bait him into that mine, though. He's going to run straight through the mine. Nope, he's going through the hedge. The other T-34 is rotating around the flanks. It's dangerous territory with all these shocks rolling around. Rear armor facing on the T-34. Everybody's backing off. This has been a very tight game so far. Nobody wants to overcommit. T-34 might get a lucky shot here. It just misses. It needs to back off. The Command Panther is going to snipe. Shot from the T-34 misses. Ziska nicely repositioned, but forced to back off. Shrek squads continuing the chase. The second T-34 in for support. Just barely dodging this mine, but they're about to run into it. The Volk squad wiped! I'm sorry, the Ober squad wiped from that mine. T-34 goes down. Command Panther backing off for a reason that I'm not sure of. And I don't know where that Howie's firing. And now it looks like Emu's gotten a little timid with this flak track. This stage in the game, it gets tough to micro all these units. You got a squishy unit like the flak track. Sometimes it's a little tough to watch. So the Howitzer fired. I don't know where he actually fired from. Iceman still controls 2 VPs, but Emu is decapping the middle. And now Iceman is down to just the 1 double vet T-34, although his second is on the way. And by the way, he has enough fuel for 2 more. So Iceman is basically matching the Command Panther for the T-34s, and it's not very hard for him to trade blows as far as that's concerned. 2 T-34s cost actually less fuel than 1 Command Panther, if you count for the conversion ratio, especially this far into the game. You know, it's a hell of a lot more expensive to tech to a T-34 than it is to tech to, or to call in a Command Panther, but when a game goes this long, the cost of teching is mitigated because it's a one-time investment, and once you've invested in it, the game goes past a certain point, it doesn't really matter as much. So T-34 is easily replaceable. Command Panther, not so much. As we can see, Emu is only at 8 plus 8 fuel, despite the fact that he controls his high fuel point. He only controls 3 strat points outside of that. So really, it takes a long time to build that Command Panther up. Takes a rear armor shot from a nicely positioned Zis. Somehow has the angle on him. That's a really sharp angle, and both of those shots penetrated from max range. Very nice. And we now see STGs on the Obers, and the conscripts throw a risky Molotov that doesn't pay off. Unfortunately, no models critted. Iceman's floating so many munitions, it doesn't really matter. I'm still waiting for this fear propaganda plus artillery Wumbo combo. I want to see it. I want to see the limbs go flying. Sounds kind of grisly. shock troops flanking that Raquette. The KVA getting a little too aggressive there, but the Zis gun is there to support this. Zis is everywhere Iceman needs it to be, but the KVA goes down, and he doesn't have anything to follow that up with. His two T-34s are still in the rear of his lines. Hefty loss there for Iceman, losing that KVA. Definitely hurts, but definitely not out of it. The Panther almost vet 1. Once it gets vet 2, it starts to get a little bit scary as it gets the armored skirts. So, although one thing to note about the Command Panther is that its veterancy bonuses typically apply to this is the only thing I can think of. Nope, he's still barraging in the field. The veterancy bonuses of the Command Panther are really team-oriented. They tend to buff the aura rather than the individual stats of the Command Panther. It's T-34 again going toe-to-toe with these Volksgrenadiers all game long with these things. It's really been kind of derpy. T-34 rolls in, kills a couple models, Volks fire a few shots, goes down a few, health points, and they run back to reinforce and repair, and rinse and repeat. But that's really the only way to use T-34s. I mean, it's not like they're gonna, one-shot squads like consistently, like shot at G rounds. These STG overs are gonna do crazy damage. Crazy damage! Not really though, because he was on the move. If he'd remained stationary, he would have done crap tons of damage. Dodge, nice dodge by the overs. Although, there's another conscript squad here. If he doesn't retreat that one, he's going to lose it. Run, Iceman, run! No! First squad lost. Executed point blank. First squad down. Freeze him up to about 90 pop cap. He's still ahead of Emu in terms of pop cap. And impressively, Emu has not lost a squad in a long time either. I'd like to see him move up his flak track again. It's been just idling here for a while now. It's such an awesome suppression unit. Granted, it's very squishy. Iceman now opted to go for a third T-34 rather than a KVA, which I think is a good call because you're still going to be able to soft counter the infantry, and it's got you, gives you something against the Command Panther. STG overs, really low health. Gonna have to be careful. Could have been wiped there if he was a little bit more unlucky. T-34 shot and missed. And Iceman is just barely hanging on to this game right now. I mean, OKW has such, a crazy presence at this point. He's starting to get these vetted overs. He's going to have to do something big. He's going to have to haul in, or, I don't know. It's still anybody's game. Both players have their entire army still. So we'll see how this plays out. Iceman doing a really nice job of spreading the field, using his armor advantage to its fullest extent, keeping his T-34s on the flanks to force off the infantry. This Command Panther is being used to defend the mid-VP, really. He's not really being aggressive with it. And the the Howitzer firing. Ooh. Shot in the base. And round 2 misses wildly. The third round going in. Again misses. We've got the Panther trading off with the T-34 in the south. 4th shot misses. STG Obers facing off against Shocks. STGs are going to win that one in medium range. This T-34 is in trouble. Command Panther's bouncing shots from the front, but now he's risking getting guillotinated. He actually chooses to ram, damages the engine. He's got the Zis gun there to support. His T-34 is going to move around the flank, but the Zis is decrewed by the Volks. His T-34 is now triple vet. Go, 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 finish him off. That's such a high priority target. He's choosing to reman the Zis, and he's actually going to have an angle on it. He just needs to maintain vision. Oh, but the second Volk squad is moving in to maybe get a grenade barrage off. One more shot and that thing goes down. Attack ground. Oh no. But this other T-34 looks like he might be coming in to flank. This Command Panther is awfully low. very precarious situation here for Emu. T-34 going for the kill. He's taking Shrek shots from everywhere. Can he finish it? Can he finish it? Second ballsy play of the day from Iceman. He suppresses the Shrek blob, and the Panther goes down. Wow, another crazy play. The whole blob is forced to retreat. Oh my gosh, I've got goosebumps right now. Here we go. And the Howie's on cooldown. Yes, Wumbo combo, Iceman. Wumbo combo. Oh god, he's firing. It's gotta be at the base. Oh, it's at the base. Oh shit. Oh, first shot misses, but there's more squads coming. There's more squads coming. Oh, please. Oh, this could be devastating. This could be the... Oh. Oh! Oh my god, that was the Howie shot he was waiting for all game. Boom. Wow. Three Volk squads down in one shot. Good god. That's just brutal. Ugh. And then we got Emu is tons of manpower, so he's actually rebuilding all this stuff. But what a turn of events! Iceman flanks the damaged engine Panther, kills it with its final shot in its last moments alive, uses the fear propaganda already to force a retreat on the massive Shrek blob, and finishes it off with a beautiful shot from that Howitzer. 42 kills on that Howitzer, you guys. That is insane. This game is not over yet, though. It's not over yet. That's a really, really significant blow there from Iceman, but he's still got to deal with all of this infantry, and he just rebuilt all of his Ogre squads. He built another Ogre squad, another Volk squad, and another Volk squad. So he replaced all of his losses almost immediately. Granted, they don't have the vet, they don't have the Shreks. They're at least going to be able to cap. And now we're starting to see that flak track get a little more active. There we go. There we go. Keep him off that mid VP there, Emu. But, that being said, a hell of a lot less Shreks on the field now, so T-34s are going to be able to do what they want. And another nice precision shot there from the Howitzer. The T-34 knows that it's got to be low. He's going to try and finish him off, but Emu is going to back away. He's real speedy on the road, but if he doesn't keep backing up, he's going to be in trouble. Iceman going for another really aggressive push. The T-34. Oh man, he was so close to that flak track. That's just been a pain in his side all game. The thing has really just been everywhere. I mean, aside from the mid game, the flak track usage has been stellar. We got the Stern Pioneers, nicely microed by Emu, putting their Minesweeper away so they can do maximum DPS, are probably going to win this engagement. Unless they eat a nasty crit, they do, and they're actually going to be forced to retreat now. So Iceman is going to maintain control of that North VP. He's down to 87 now, and the Southern VP is being recaptured by these Flamer Pios, or Flamer NGs. Raketin is forced away as well. So Iceman, if he can cap this mid VP, is going to drain Emu in a hurry, but the Command Panther has now been rebuilt. So we've got another grudge match between the Command Panther and two T-34s. And now another Howitzer barrage going in on the base. The HQ is down to about 50% health from the relentless Howitzer barrage. The Raketin is wiped. And another round going in. Oh, actually manages to kill... Oh, to kill the well-preserved flak track. This Howitzer has just been a monster. Good grief, how often do you see that? Grenade barrage going in on the conscripts, drops into half health, doesn't kill a model. T-34 now up to triple vet, 19 kills, much more mobile now. Actually extremely speedy. They're almost, it's almost like a T-70 speed on the roads. They're very quick. They get vet 3. He's going to reman the Zis now that the Command Panther is on the field, and this game is down to the wire. Doesn't quite get the wipe on the Obers, but a nice demo charge nonetheless. Man, you guys, it's still anybody's game. Iceman still needs to take him down 160 VPs. He still has to deal with these Ogres with just conscripts. He actually lost his shock squad. I missed that. And a combat NG. He's going to have to repair or recall that as well. But he now has a significantly more pop cap. We could just see a T-34 spam. He has enough resources to build 2 of them. He has the fuel for it easily. But, and he has, no, that doesn't quite, yeah, he has the manpower for it as well. Now Iceman is just relentlessly barraging Emu's base without any obvious targets. He's just gonna try and get a lucky healing squad, or if nothing else, just damage his base buildings and pressure his stern piles to spend time repairing rather than actually being in the field. Ober squad's gonna annihilate these conscripts, and they're gonna be forced to retreat. But the T-34 is now coming in to support. The Obers are immediately going to retreat because you don't want to get an unlucky shot. And nope, still nothing. These T-34s. T-34s have been really not doing that much manpower drain, but just forcing squads off, forcing retreats, and allowing Iceman to cap. So while the T-34s aren't exactly racking up the kills, the triple vet one has 19, but still serving their purpose. Now we've got Vet 4 STG Obers, and these guys are just scary. As soon as they stop moving, you're going to see the DPS just start to shred. Just keeps them on the move. Just keep them stationary. There you go. I mean, they do good damage on the move, but you see there's a little animation time every time you order a command, and that's DPS lost every time. So we've got Iceman now bleeding VPs again, down to just 40 VPs. And I'm starting to wonder if he's going to be able to pull this one out. The T-34s might just have to get desperate. He's rebuilt his shock squad, which will help against the Volks. His T-34s are now spread out all over the map. And look at this one. It's like a little go-kart T-34. He's so quick. So quick and nimble. Where is he going? Man, it's crazy fast. These Obers really just being a pain in the ass. He's just sending these Obers straight to the VPs every time. He could just camp a T-34 and prevent the Obers from making any progress. There's a nice shot from the T-34. Uh-oh, we lost an infantry group. What did he lose? I missed it. Oh, did he howitzer the? Oh, he must have howied the. He must have howied the Obers. Oh god, that howitzer is so mean. These cons are recapping the middle VP. He's also capping the north VP. This vanilla Volk squad is moving in. He's throwing grenades at almost every engagement now. He kind of needs Shrek, so I don't know about that. He's also not using his Command Panther to force off these T-34s. Look at the range on that. That's nice. It's one of my favorite units. It's like a Panther with spotting scopes. Now we've got a really nice defensive line set up here from Iceman. He's got all 3 of his T-34s defending this middle VP, backed up by a Zis. He's not going to be able to maintain control of the north VP as of right now, but he is sending another con squad there. The Howie is on cooldown, or is off cooldown once again, so we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see where that next nasty barrage is. He's at the half-century mark, I think. Those men are putting some serious hurt down. And now we're down to 130 VPs for Emu. The Howie is still not firing. I'm going to keep an eye on that just so that I can see when it shoots. Because that thing has been pivotal, and I don't want to miss it. And now both players kind of just feeling it out. We're down to the final moments. Things are about to get desperate. Iceman controls the VP, so he's happy to just, ooh, nasty shot there. Yes, you see that quite a bit in the late game as the craters start to form. You've got a lot more opportunities for squads to clump up. T-34s get lucky shots, etc., etc. Pack Howitzer looks like it's going for maybe a middle range shot, maybe on the base. Yep, firing in the middle. And Emu lost another squad, I'm not sure where. And Iceman is now in a commanding position as Emu has lost the majority of his infantry. These Obers are charging into the shocks. The T-34s are swarming the Panther. He's bouncing shots left and right. He wipes one T-34, The other T-34s are now on the move. He has no conscripts around to damage the engine. He could be wrong, trying to go for a lucky engine critical from the front armor, but the second set of T-34s are now moving up. The Panther is bouncing shots like crazy, but still taking decent damage. There we go. There's a penetrating shot from the Vet 3 T-34, and boom, there you go. The pack of T-34s wipes the Command Panther. With no Shrek support to help him out, the Command Panther is extremely vulnerable, and now things are looking good for him. He's down to 75 VPs. Iceman holding strong at 30. He's got quite the infantry lineup there. Got a couple of his initial conscript squads, 24 kills on one, 14 on the other. He's got this hero T-34, and of course the hero Howie, which is continuing to barrage the base. I mean, if nothing else, the frustration of just being whittled away by this, you know, unseen enemy. I mean, good grief, it's just, that thing has been a monster. Iceman now repairing. This game is going on an hour, and we're not even on Longerskaya. It's been an epic one. I don't know if Emu can pull it out at this point. He's so far away from any sort of armor. He's lost all of his infantry. T-34s have been racking up the kills. Another nice demo there on the VPs. When all else fails, plant demos, right? Maybe let's see if he tries to shepherd him into the demo. Oh, they're running right into it. Iceman sees it for sure. They're just trying to do the dance. Oh, and he uses the cap to prevent the further capping. He's down to 17. Emu is capping the north, furiously capping the middle. Demo charge wipes the Obers in the south. He's going to use that T-34 to finish the cap. This other T-34, go up, move right into the circle. And now he's getting desperate. He's dancing around. He's trying to delay as long as possible, but I don't think he's going to be able to pull it out. He's starting to float manpower a little bit. This looks like the end for Emu. He's just throwing squads away to try and delay the VP drain as long as possible. Another squad wipe from that T-34. Iceman is about to complete the capping of the middle VP and continue the drain. And Emu is on his last leg. He's rebuilding squads in an attempt to just maybe be sneaky. But as long as Iceman doesn't throw horribly, this game is in the bag. 9, 8, 7. Nope. We're going to go to 7. Yep, there we go. 7. And more base barraging. Salt in the wounds at this point. Oh my gosh, this T-34 didn't hit a damn thing all game, and then all of a sudden they decide to turn into a one-shotting monster. So there we have it. Playback over, hour and 3 minutes. Extremely well played. That was a fantastic Wumbo combo there with the Fear Prop and the ML20. I'd say that was the highlight of the game. Well played, Iceman. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick shout out for our live cast that we're planning on doing every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central, which I think is 9 p.m. German time. I'll let you guys figure out the math on the rest of it. So yeah, if you enjoyed my cast, if you enjoyed the stuff that me and Iceman do, drop us a like, maybe subscribe. We're really having fun with it. We're going to keep doing it. So yeah, stay tuned for more, and thanks for watching.